When we experience this specific pianist pain, it can be really frustrating because you have a passion for piano and you want to play and you want to get better, but if you're experiencing pain, that's really going to affect your progress, your attitude, your motivation, your inspiration. It's just hard to work through. This is a problem that is something every dedicated pianist that I know, that I've ever met and have talked to, has struggled with due to long practice sessions without a break. If you've tried that before and you get off the piano and you know that you played for a little bit too long, it's a problem due to poor posture. It can result from unsuitable seating. It's a problem that's due to faulty technique or a lack of technique. It can come on from stress or overworking. It's a product of pressure, of unrealistic standards of perfection. It can result from mental tension, pushing ourselves too hard to understand something new. You know, when sometimes it just doesn't click, but you're forcing yourself to get there. It can result from a combination of physical activities outside of the piano. Any existing conditions that we have from illness or injury can be exacerbated when we play at the piano by the daily use of digital devices or sitting at a computer like I'm doing right now. It's a huge problem, and if you haven't guessed from those descriptions, what I'm talking about is pain. It's something that forces some pianists, if they don't know what to do about it, to stop playing altogether. So, pianist pain. You can't spell pianist without pain. Isn't that kind of sad? That made me sad. I was like, oh. And being a pianist doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be in pain all the time, but it is something that's extremely common once you've been playing for a while, or even off the bat if you're doing things incorrectly. So if you do not have problems yet in that area as a pianist, then you're a lucky one. Maybe you're not doing that much practice, but it's always a good idea to get ahead of this issue. It's obviously a very common issue. Most of the problem is that as pianists, we're seated. It's a seated instrument. And because we're seated, we're also putting our arms forward to play. And that pulls the rest of our body forward when we are not paying attention, right? Unless we're being very mindful. And that can cause strain in our whole upper torso, neck, shoulders, chest pain, lower pain, back pain, upper back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, which is what I get a lot of, and headaches, which I have one now. We also can get the more when you're a beginner pianist, the one that you might be experiencing more as a result of lack of technique or poor technique is pain in your, not necessarily your fingers, but definitely your wrists and your forearms from just using those areas incorrectly. So you might have experienced all of these pains, you might just some of them, or maybe none of them yet, and if you haven't, then that's great. But assuming that you do not want to give up playing piano, of course we want to play piano well into, the rest of our lives, then we need to put some good habits in place and look after our body, okay? We only get one, so that you never have to experience more pain. And I've certainly experienced a lot of pain as a pianist, especially in recent years. Admittedly, since I started Piano Picnic, I spend more hours at the piano, and either at the piano, and if I'm not at the piano, I'm on my computer. I started experiencing really intense pain, and I still struggle with it. But one of the biggest things that has helped me, and particularly since moving to this town, and that's a big clue, I live in Raglan. Raglan is the yoga capital of New Zealand, and since I moved here, I have become a regular yoga person, or they call a yogi, for the last few years. And the benefits I have found to the way that it releases tension in my body, particularly my upper body where my problem is, my shoulder blades. I'm just, my feelings are I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed just talking about it, but it has been such a relief for me. It's been so great in releasing that tension that I have from playing the piano. And if you're like me, you play the piano and then sometimes you're on your phone or you're on a computer. It's just a lot. So if you're watching this, let me know in the comments if you also have felt any of these pains in your body or tension, because it's just super common. If you haven't guessed yet, the next course is yoga for pianists. We have created a program specifically for the issues of the pianist. Now, I am so excited about this because it's not technically playing piano, right? But it's something that is going to enable you to play piano for the rest of your life and not suffer, and have a way to make sure that you are not putting stress on your body from playing. And that means you can keep learning and keep playing for the rest of your life. And that's such a gift to have that longevity. We're going to be exploring yoga poses in this course that benefit us as pianists specifically, but also just the mental benefits are huge in terms of de-stressing, being humans in this super stressful world. It's just, the benefits are not just physical, it's mental as well. And being able to relax is always great for, if you just being a human, but also if you want to be creative at the piano, being able to relax and have clear thinking, and not be clouded by pain and stress in your body and in your mind is a huge advantage. Updates of what's happening, get more information about this course. If you're like, I kind of think it sounds interesting, but I'm not sure if it's really for me, then sign up to this mailing list, because I don't want you to miss out, okay? And then I'll, of course, let you know all the juicy info. I'm so excited. I'm going to do some more party noises. This is it. This is what the next course is going to be. Thank you so much for joining me today. And make sure, as you're playing this week, remember to play it like you mean it. And I'll see you later.